I'm standing in the ICU staring at my wife Sarah through a window. Her head is wrapped in thick white bandages. Machines beep steadily beside her bed. She has not opened her eyes in 18 hours. Down the hall, I can hear my mother Linda laughing on her phone. Her voice carries through the sterile corridor like nothing is wrong, like my wife is not lying there with a fractured skull. I heard what she said 5 minutes ago. Oh, come on, it was just a prank. She will be fine. Those words keep echoing in my head. This is not the family I thought I knew. Or maybe it is, and I've been blind all along. 24 hours ago, everything seemed normal. We were having dinner together. Sarah was smiling, trying her best to fit in. They were all laughing. I should have seen it coming. The signs were all there. Before I tell you how my family's idea of fun nearly cost me my wife, I want to know where you are watching from. Drop your city or country in the comments below. If you have ever felt torn between family and the person you love, hit that like button. And subscribe, because this story is not just about what happened that night. It is about the choice I had to make afterward, a choice that changed everything. Some of you might think I'm a terrible son for what I did. Others might understand. Let us find out together. It all started 3 years ago when I brought Sarah home for the first time. My name is Miguel. I'm 28 years old and I grew up in a big Hispanic American family. We were loud, energetic, always in each other's business. My mother, Linda, is 52. She is the kind of mother who believes no one will ever be good enough for her boys. She is protective to the point of suffocating. My older brother, David, is 31. He works as a foreign affairs officer and has always been the golden child. He is diplomatic and charming, but he loves teasing people. My younger brother, Ryan, is 24. He just graduated college and still lives with Mom. He's always coming up with jokes and pranks. That is just how we were raised. Everything was a game. Everything was funny. Then I met Sarah. She is 26, an only child. Her father died when she was young. Her mother remarried when she was 15. Sarah grew up pretty lonely. She is gentle, thoughtful, loves reading. She works at the public library. She is completely different from my family. Quiet where they are loud, thoughtful where they are impulsive, reserved where they are overwhelming. I met her at a coffee shop where she read every Sunday morning. We fell in love because of our differences. I loved the peace she brought to my chaotic life. She loved the warmth I gave to her quiet world. 6 months into dating, I brought Sarah home for dinner. I was confident my family would love her the way I did. I was wrong. The first prank happened that night. Ryan hid Sarah's car keys. We spent 45 minutes searching for them while everyone watched. Sarah was confused, not sure whether to laugh or cry. Finally, Ryan pulled them from his pocket, grinning. "It is tradition," he said. "We did it to David's wife, too." Everyone laughed. Sarah tried to smile. I told her later that is just how they show they like you. I believed it then. A few weeks later, we came for dinner again. Linda made coffee for everyone. Sarah took a sip and jerked back. Her face twisted in disgust, but she tried to swallow it anyway to be polite. The entire table erupted in laughter. Linda had replaced the sugar with salt. "Oh, honey, you need to lighten up," my mother said, still laughing. "We are just having fun." Sarah smiled, but it did not reach her eyes. I felt uncomfortable but said nothing. I told myself they meant well. The third prank came a month later. David told Sarah a story about a haunted house in our neighborhood. He made it sound real detailed, terrifying. Sarah has been afraid of supernatural things since childhood. She listened with wide eyes, her hands trembling slightly. Then David laughed and announced, "I made it all up." The whole family cracked up. Sarah looked hurt, but she tried to laugh along. I should have said something then. I should have told them to stop. But I wanted her to be accepted. I wanted us to be one big happy family. Sarah and I got married 2 years later. At our wedding, when the priest asked if anyone objected, David stood up. My heart stopped. Then he grinned and said, "Just kiddin'." Everyone laughed except Sarah. She stood there in her white dress, frozen. I squeezed her hand and whispered, "He is just being David." But I saw the light dim in her eyes a little more. For the first 2 years of our marriage, Sarah kept her distance from my family. She only came to major holidays. She was polite, but distant. I felt guilty. I wanted everyone to get along. One night, Sarah told me quietly, "I do not think they really like me, Miguel." I defended them immediately. They are just intense, but they mean well. She did not argue. She just looked sad. Then Linda called with an invitation. She wanted all of us to come for a family bonding weekend at the old family house. It is a 3-story place out in the suburbs surrounded by trees, no close neighbors. "Come on," she said. "Let us all reconnect." I saw it as an opportunity. I begged Sarah, "This is a chance for them to really get to know you. Please, for me." She hesitated for a long time. Finally, she agreed. I was so happy. I thought everything was going to get better. I had no idea what they were planning. What I did not know, what I only learned later, was that my family had been planning something for weeks. A week before the weekend, Ryan texted David with an idea. "I have got the perfect prank for Sarah." They met with Linda. The 3 of them sat down together. "My mother said she has been family for 2 years and still acts like a stranger. We need to break that wall." David agreed. "Remember when we did the haunted house thing to Ryan's ex-girlfriend? She loved it afterward." Ryan was excited. "Let us do something bigger, something she will never forget." They planned everything. They would do it Saturday night, the second night of the weekend. Linda would send me away on an errand. While I was gone, they would turn off all the lights in the house. Ryan had a signal blocker from his IT job. He would cut off phone service. They would make scary noises, create the feeling of danger. David would wear a mask and pretend to be an intruder. Ryan would film everything to save the memory. They actually believed this was a good idea. They thought it would be funny. They kept saying what could go wrong. "It is just a prank. Every family member has to go through this. She will laugh about it afterward. Miguel will thank us for helping her loosen up." They did not think anything could go wrong. We arrived Friday afternoon. The house looked the same as always. Old, a bit creaky, surrounded by thick woods. Dinner that night was surprisingly pleasant. My family was being unusually nice to Sarah. They asked about her work, complimented her dress, laughed at her small jokes. Sarah whispered to me while we were cleaning dishes, "They are being weird. Too nice." I smiled and said, "Maybe they are finally warming up to you. Enjoy it." She wanted to believe it. So did I. Saturday morning, we all went hiking together. Linda cooked a huge breakfast for everyone. Ryan took photos of all of us, calling them our happy family memories. Everything seemed perfect. By Saturday afternoon, Sarah had relaxed. She told me, "Maybe you were right. They do seem nicer." I felt so relieved. I thought we had finally turned a corner. I thought my family was finally accepting her. I was so wrong. Around 10:15 that night, Linda suddenly remembered something. "Oh no, we are out of milk." Miguel, could you run to the store? The only one open is 30 minutes away. I hesitated. Can it not wait until tomorrow? She insisted. I need it for breakfast. You know, I cannot have coffee without milk. Sarah told me to go. It is okay. I will be fine here. I grabbed my keys and left. I had no idea I was walking into their trap. At 10:45, the plan began. Linda, David, and Ryan moved into position. Sarah was in the second-floor living room reading a book on the couch. Suddenly, every light in the house went out. Complete darkness. Sarah called out, "Hello, did the power go out?" Nobody answered. She tried her phone flashlight. No signal. Her voice got tighter. Linda, David, Ryan. Silence. Then the noises started. Something heavy fell on the first floor. Footsteps slow and deliberate. A window slammed shut. Then a voice unfamiliar and threatening. David was disguising his voice. "I know you are in here." Sarah's heart started racing. She locked the living room door. "This is not funny," she called out. "Please stop." Nobody responded. The voice came closer. Come out wherever you are." Sarah made a decision. She would run downstairs and out the front door. She unlocked the living room door and stepped into the hallway. It was completely black. She could not see anything. Behind her, she heard footsteps running. David was playing his part, chasing her. Sarah screamed, "Miguel, help." She ran toward the stairs in the total darkness. Her hands reached for the railing but missed. Her foot hit the third step wrong. She felt herself losing balance. Her body tumbled forward. She fell down those wooden stairs, hitting each step hard. Shoulder, hip, head against the railing. On the 12th step, her head slammed into the wall. There was a sickening crack. Her body finally stopped rolling when it hit the stone floor at the bottom. Everything went black for her. She did not move. Upstairs, my family heard the noise. At first, they were still laughing. "She is really selling it," Ryan said. He was still holding his camera recording. David took off his mask and called down. "Okay, Sarah, joke is over. You can stop now." No response. Linda turned the lights back on. What they saw made them freeze. Sarah was lying motionless in a pool of blood. Her head was tilted against the corner of the floor at an unnatural angle. Her arm was bent wrong. Blood was coming from a wound on her head. The house went silent. Linda spoke first, her voice shaking. "Sarah, get up. The joke is over." Nothing. David ran down the stairs and touched her shoulder. Hey! No response. Ryan stood at the top of the stairs. Oh, God. This was not supposed to... This is not... Linda asked, "Should we call 911? David hesitated. "Wait. If we call, they will ask questions. What if Ryan cut him off? She is not breathing right. Call now. I was on my way back from the store at 10:50. I had just bought the milk and was driving home when my phone rang. David," his voice was shaking. "Miguel, you need to come back. Now." "What happened?" I asked. "There was an accident. Sarah fell. Fell. What do you mean, fell? Just get back here." He hung up. I drove like a madman. 30 minutes felt like an eternity. I kept thinking of every terrible possibility. I called back. No one answered. I called Sarah. No signal. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. Please be okay. Please be okay. Please be okay. I got home at 11:20. All the lights were on now. The front door was wide open. I ran inside and saw a nightmare. Sarah was lying on the floor. Linda had put a pillow under her head, but I could still see blood. She was unconscious. Her face was pale gray. Ryan was crying in the corner. David was on the phone with 911. I dropped to my knees beside Sarah. "Baby Sarah, can you hear me?" Nothing. I looked up at David. What did you do? It was an accident, he started. We were just, what did you do? Linda tried to intervene. Miguel calmed down. It was just a prank. She panicked and, a prank. You call this a prank? The ambulance arrived 10 minutes later. The paramedics checked Sarah quickly. Severe head trauma, possible skull fracture, broken arm. We need to move now. They put her on a stretcher. I climbed into the ambulance with her. Before the doors closed, I heard Linda talking to David. It was an accident. Just stick to that story. My blood boiled. The ambulance pulled away with sirens wailing. At the hospital, they took Sarah straight into emergency. I sat in the ICU waiting room, my clothes still stained with her blood. A doctor came out around 11:50. Your wife has a severe concussion, fractured skull, broken left arm. We are monitoring for brain bleeding. The next 24 hours are critical. He paused. How did this happen? I told him everything. My family was pulling a prank. They scared her in the dark, and she fell down the stairs. The doctor's face hardened. This was not a prank. This was reckless endangerment. I am required to report this. Good, I said. My family showed up at 12:30 in the morning. Linda, David, and Ryan walked into the waiting room. Linda asked, "How is she?" I did not look at her. Critical condition. Miguel, honey, we need to talk about what we tell people. I turned to face her. My voice was ice cold. We tell them the truth. David stepped forward. Come on, man. It was an accident. No one meant... I stood up and got in his face. You meant to terrify her. You meant to make her feel unsafe in a house where she should have felt welcome. The only accident here is that I ever thought you people were capable of love. At 1 in the morning, 2 police officers arrived. The hospital had called them. They interviewed me first. Then they interviewed Linda, David, and Ryan separately. Ryan broke down. He confessed everything. The plan, the signal blocker, the video he had recorded. The police confiscated his phone. I watched them do it and felt nothing but cold satisfaction. At 7 the next morning, Sarah was still in a coma. I had not slept. I sat by her bed holding her hand. I whispered to her, I am so sorry. I should have protected you. I should have seen this coming. At 8, Linda came into the room. She was still trying to make excuses. Miguel, you have to understand. We did not mean for this to happen. I did not turn around. Get out. I am your mother. You cannot talk to me like... I whipped around. My eyes were red from crying. You are right. You are my mother. And you almost killed my wife. You know what the worst part is. You're still making excuses. She is lying here with a fractured skull, and you're worried about your reputation. You're not sorry she is hurt. You're sorry you got caught. Linda got defensive. That is not fair. We love you. We were trying to help her fit in. By terrorizing her, that is your definition of love, she fired back. Every family has traditions. You are being dramatic. My voice went quiet and deadly. My wife might have permanent brain damage. That is not drama. That is reality. And you know what I'm done. I'm done protecting you. I'm done making excuses for you. The police have the video. Ryan told them everything. You're going to face consequences. Linda gave me an ultimatum. If you do this, if you let them charge us, you're choosing her over your own blood. I looked at her for a long moment. She is my blood now. She is my family. You're just people who share my DNA. And maybe that is all you ever were. Linda left crying, calling me ungrateful. I did not care. At 9, David came in. He tried the brotherhood approach. We are brothers. We have been through everything together. I shook my head. A brother would never do what you did. It was just supposed to be funny. She was supposed to laugh. I stood up. She was supposed to feel safe. Instead, she felt hunted. Do you know she has nightmares? She told me she never felt comfortable here, and I told her she was wrong. I chose you over her feelings, and look where that got us. David left without another word. At 2 in the afternoon the next day, Sarah finally opened her eyes. She saw me first. Miguel. I grabbed her hand. I am here. I am right here. What happened, I explained gently. She remembered. They chased me. I thought someone was going to hurt me. She started shaking, having a panic attack. The nurses had to give her a sedative. When she calmed down later, she looked at me with tears in her eyes. I do not want to see them. Please do not let them in. You never have to see them again. I promise. She started crying. I am sorry. I know they are your family. I stopped her. You have nothing to apologize for. They did this, not you, them, and they are not my family anymore. You are. The doctor updated us later. Sarah would be okay, but she needed months of recovery. There might be long-term effects, chronic headaches, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. She would need physical therapy for her arm and mandatory psychological therapy. I held her hand and promised her I would be there for everything. The legal consequences came swiftly. The police charged all 3 of them. Reckless endangerment for Linda, David, and Ryan, unlawful imprisonment for blocking the phone signal, possible assault charges. Sarah had the right to sue them civilly. David and Ryan had to hire lawyers. Linda was being investigated as an accomplice. The video had leaked somehow, maybe from the police department. It went viral on social media. My family was crucified online. David faced a workplace investigation. Ryan lost his job. A week later, Ryan came to the hospital after Sarah had been discharged home. He was crying. I was stupid. I was cruel. I have no excuse. I will understand if you never forgive me. Sarah said nothing. I told him you need to leave, and do not come back unless you're ready to actually change. Ryan left broken. Linda and David never apologized sincerely. They kept framing it as a tragic accident. They told relatives that I overreacted, that Sarah was being dramatic. I blocked all their contacts. Sarah and I made a decision. We moved to a different city 3 hours away. I found a new job. We started over, just the 2 of us. We cut off Linda and David completely. We left a small opening for Ryan if he truly changed. But we were done with people who could not take accountability. The first year after the incident was hard. Sarah's physical recovery took 6 months of physical therapy. Her arm healed well, but the psychological recovery took much longer. 2 years of therapy for post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety. She still does not like dark places or crowded spaces. She still has nightmares sometimes, but gradually she found her strength again. My own journey was difficult too. I carried heavy guilt. I brought her into that situation. I went to therapy separately to process the trauma and my guilt. I learned to forgive myself. I realized I could not control other people's actions. My responsibility was to protect Sarah from now on. That was all I could do. Our new life was simple but warm. We rented a small apartment in the new city. It was cozy and safe. I worked at a different company. Sarah went back to work part-time at a library. We created our own traditions. Movie nights every Friday, hiking once a month. Sarah gradually regained her trust in outdoor activities. We had dinners with real friends, people who respected us. My best friend from college, James, and his wife became our chosen family. They showed us what real family looks like. One night, Sarah said something that helped us both heal. "I do not blame you. You did not know they would go that far. But I saw the signs," I replied. "I dismissed your feelings." She took my hand. "We both wanted it to work. That is not your fault." In that moment, we forgave each other and ourselves. We understood that we had both been trying our best with the information we had. 2 years after the incident, I received a letter from Ryan. He had cut himself off from Linda and David. He was in therapy. He had changed jobs and was rebuilding his life. The letter said he did not expect forgiveness. He just wanted me to know he was truly sorry and working to be better. Sarah and I discussed it. "It is your decision," she said. "He is your brother. Only if you're comfortable," I told her. We met Ryan for coffee. He looked different, humbled, mature. He apologized sincerely with no excuses. "I was cruel. I was thoughtless. I'm spending every day trying to be better." He did not demand immediate reconciliation. I told him it will take time. "But maybe we can start here." Sarah nodded in agreement. We set clear boundaries. Ryan could contact us occasionally. He could never mention Linda or David. No surprise visits. He had to respect Sarah's healing process. He agreed to everything. Linda and David never changed. They still tell the story as an unfortunate accident. They still believe they were right. Linda tries to contact me through relatives. I am his mother. He owes me forgiveness. David sends occasional emails. "When are you going to stop being mad?" I do not respond to any of it. I have blocked all their attempts. They are not invited to any events in our lives, and I have found peace in that absence. I realized some people are not capable of real accountability, and it is okay to walk away from them. 3 years after everything happened, Sarah and I had a daughter. We named her Emma. When I look at my little girl, I make a promise to myself every single day. I will teach her that love means respect, not control. I will teach her that it is just a joke is never an excuse for harm. I will teach her that family is not about blood. It is about who shows up when you are broken and helps you heal. I lost my birth family, but I gained something more valuable. Clarity. I learned that loyalty to people who hurt you is not loyalty. It is self-destruction. I learned that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. I learned that family is not who you are born to. It is who you choose, who chooses you back, and who treats you with the dignity you deserve. Now, Sarah and I sit on our porch, watching Emma play in the yard. She asks me, "Do you ever regret it?" Cutting them off. I look at Sarah, then at Emma, then at the peaceful life we have built together. Not for a second, I tell her. Sometimes the family you choose is stronger than the family you are born into. And I chose right. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had to choose between the family you were born into and the family you built? Have you ever had to walk away from people you loved because they could not see the harm they caused? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and your stories matter. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button. Subscribe to hear more real stories about the hard choices we make for love. Share this with someone who needs to hear that it is okay to set boundaries even with family. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps you understand that protecting the people you love is never wrong, even when it costs you everything else. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and remember that you deserve respect from everyone in your life, no exceptions. Until next time.